Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. All praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. And double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yeah. And shalom to the men out there pushing this truth and sincerity and meekness, risking lives of freedom to do so, man. All right. We're going to get right into it. Got a couple articles I want to read. And, but basically dealing with the famine, particularly. Okay. And the gradualism of these things, man. All right. So it says Biden seizes control over domestic food materials using Korean War era emergency powers. All right. It says to address the infant formula shortage that's causing widespread frustration and even panic across America, the illegitimate Biden regime has invoked Korean War era emergency powers found in the Defense Production Act, which is administered by who? FEMA. All right. FEMA. Okay, which is really the organization that's going to be given authority over America. It's going to be a sub-regime of the it's going to be in partnership with the World Health Organization. Okay, because the World Health Organization is about to have sovereignty over the world. Okay, don't forget that these nations are meeting up with the UN and the WHO to give up their sovereignty, man. Okay, so we in those times of all things being fulfilled, man. It says that act, originally intended to allow emergency executive action to shore up critical infrastructure during times of war, is now being used by the Biden regime to seize control over food supply, raw materials, and force companies to deliver them to Abbott Laboratories to manufacture large quantities of heavily processed junk food infant formula made with corn, syrup, solids, and processed milk. Okay, you women, you feed your children these things when you can just save money and not depend on this devil providing for you by breastfeeding. All right, this will all be solved if you just breastfed. Okay, with you women, okay, you do whatever was convenient for you. All right, now you're gonna have to resolve the breastfeeding. All right. It says it also stands as a centrally planned food distribution plan that resembles communism, not free market dynamics. All right, and isn't America against communism, right? Which means let's go into this word. It says collectivism, a political theory derived from Karl Marx, advocating class war and leading to a society in which all property is publicly owned. Each person works and is paid according to their ability. Okay, but I think Russia and China are communists, right? And America is against that, right? Because they're capitalists, right? Showing you the hypocrisy of this devil, man. All right. It says, furthermore, it means that as other food shortages emerge in the months ahead, Slocky, give me 1 second. I want to do this. All right, kind of. It says the Biden regime will almost certainly invoke the DPA to seize control of other food materials, making sure favored corporations get supply while dissident companies and small businesses are driven into bankruptcy due to lack of supply. And this is an attack on small businesses, man. They want to starve out the lower class, okay? The poor, okay? Who was the poor? You Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, Seminole, Native American Indians. This is an attack on you. All these other nations, they're just casualties of war, man. This is a targeted attack to starve you out, man, and to have you worship this devil and come to him in one of all things as if he's the most high. The scriptures talk about, his God complex, all right? But this is his plan, okay? This is what Agenda 2030 is about, because it was Agenda 2021, but it was put to a halt by the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, okay, because they revealed the agenda of this devil, all right? It says, welcome to Joe Biden's America, where nothing is safe from the catastrophically bad ideas of the Biden regime and its desire to destroy everything in sight, including food abundance and affordable fuel, man. All right. And this man hasn't been in office for he's been in office for a year or two. Can't look what's been going on. All right. The mirth is being stripped out of this place. All right. I'm going to get that. Okay. Because it says, this is the signs. This is the time we in, man. All right. People are going to uprise real. They're going to uproar real soon, man. All right. It says, I'm going to start at verse 9. I'm going to start at 10. Isaiah 24:10. The city of confusion is broken down. Babylon the Great. Okay, its infrastructure is broken down. Its economics, financial structure is broken down. Its food supply chain is broken down. This is talking about, this is Babylon, man. Everything here is broken down, man. It says every house is shut up, that no man may come in. And that's going to be because of the uproars of the people breaking into people's houses, all right? People are going to start boarding up their houses real soon, man, all right? Because there's going to be a scarcity of food or famine, all right? And there's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is dark and the mirth of the land is gone. That's the times we about to head into, man. People are going to seek the truth. That's the one that this talking about, all right? It says all joy is dark and the mirth of the land is gone, because people are going to, people love going out to eat and doing away with most of their food. The abundance of food that people have, they let it rot, okay, and just tossing it in the trash. Okay, now that the pleasure in doing that is the ability to do that is gone, man. All right, you're gonna be getting food ration to you, man. All right, that's why it says that all joy is darkened, man, because you can't feed. You can't eat pleasurably, because that's how most people eat. They eat to fulfill their pleasures, man. Not because their body needs the food. No, because they want to eat. All right, they just want to eat, man. Okay, America is known as one of the most obese countries in the world because these people just eat for no fucking reason, man. All right, mainly because this food has no nutrients in it, so it forces you to continue to eat. But hey, man, you can fight that shit, man. All right. It says DHS has already secretly seized the output of food storage manufacturers across America. All right. It says we have confirmed that the DHS has already seized the entire production output of several large U.S. storable food manufacturers. Those companies were also forced to sign non-disclosure agreements in order to keep this fact a secret from the public. All right. But careful observers will note that any food production company claiming to be unable to fulfill customer orders for many months at a time is actually under the control of DHS, forced to shift all output to the U.S. government. All right, you're gonna have to come to him in want of all things, man. All right, that's a curse. All right, it says DHS is currently funneling tens of millions of dollars a month of storable food products into underground government bunkers and tunnels, while telling the public there is no need to prepare at all. Food recalls are also being staged by the FDA in order to confiscate massive quantities of food, which are redirected to government bunkers. All right, showing you these devils, man, you know, they're gathering all these things for themselves. The scriptures talk about that. And I think it's in the book of Job. You know, basically they leave. You could gather all these things together, but they're just gonna leave it for another. Roughly paraphrasing. All right. It says DHS, I'm told, is preparing for a war with China, which is believed will commence before the midterm elections this year. I will have huge details on this tomorrow. Uh, it said, which exposes China's plan to invade the continental United States with millions of PLA troops in order to seize America's farmlands, oil, and mineral resources. The plan involves exterminating every last American, including all the Democrats who have committed treason, by working with the Communist Chinese to achieve this plan, such as Governor Newsom. All right, China's invasion plan, by the way, will begin with the D-Day style landing on the beaches of California. Every California civilian who is unable to flee will be executed on sight. And since California is a gun-controlled state, the American people have been deliberately disarmed in order to make China's invasion far easier to accomplish. All right, this is the times we in. All right, because I think America is China and America are going at it about Taiwan, okay, which used to be a province of China, okay. And this is the times we in, man. All right, war, Matthew 24th chapter, kingdom is against kingdom, nation against nation, man. This is it, man. All right, famines, wars, pestilence. This is just the beginning. All right. It says Department of Defense aircraft are now airlifting baby food into America using military resources to solve domestic food supply problems that should be solved by the free market instead. All right, and that was the point. I'm not going to read that part, but they're gathering all food for themselves, man, and rationing it out to the people. All right, I'm gonna get this. All right. It says supply chains are never returning to normal. All right, and that's what most of you Babylonians think. Okay, you're comfortable with what's going on here. Nothing like this has ever happened before in the history of time, man. All right. Okay, you still have docks out there on the Bay of California, on the waters, the oceans of California, and also China. And Ukraine and the Russian war has stopped has stopped the supply chain as well. It has played an effect, all right? So you Babylonians are, you're through, man. You through, okay? It says the conventional wisdom at this time is that most of the world has moved on from the pandemic, except for China. Therefore, supply chains will return to normal. Unfortunately, this is not the case. The world has permanently changed, and supply chains are going to face continuing shortages for decades to come. Among these challenges are supply chains will remain under constant threat of disruption for the next decade. Supply chains operate both when the world is peaceful and stable. A smooth running supply chain requires buffer stock, which is challenging with the declining population demographics. There is a conflict between the environmental, social, and governance goals as supply chains are optimized for cost and speed. If we prioritize ESG, I've heard this before, okay, look into, I think it's dealing with the social credit score system. All right, we will need to contend with supply chain risk. Supply chain technology will become the big venture capital category winner as companies continue to make investments in China that can help them mitigate their supply chain challenges, man. And the world faced with the prospect of tightening supplies, higher energy costs, right? High geopolitical risk and strained transportation networks, advanced supply chain technologies will become mission critical for many more companies, which means what? They're gonna do away with with humans, man. All right, you're look at the unemployment rate across the world. All right, most of the world is jobless, man, and they're about to be replaced by artificial intelligence, man, technology. Okay, they have robots that can basically mimic what a human can do, man. All right. And it says in a world faced with the prospect of tightening supplies and higher energy costs, meaning what? Gas, lights, water. Okay, everything is rising, man. Okay. It's an article out there dealing with a lady. I'll get it. I'll get it. Uh where is it? It says all right. It says cost of living crisis. Our lives are at risk because of energy costs. All right. Now let's go down lower. She's paying $171 a month for gas and electricity, but now this is going to $469, which is a third of her family's income. Right? You see that jump? It's that it's a hell of a jump, man. Okay, that's a hell of a jump, man. All right, and pretty sure these people are receiving raises as inflation goes on. Okay, showing you that Esau Edom wants to strip you of everything. Esau Edom is a self-proclaimed white man, starting with the bankers. Okay, you Rothschilds, man. All right, the chief tribe of Amalek, man. All right. It says the former teacher wants the government to provide an energy grant for people in a similar situation. Okay, depending on the government once again, because these Babylonians have been nourished. Okay, uh, uh, the whole world has been nourished, man. Okay, by this devil, man. All right. It says, well, that's the point. You see the bill increase, man. All right. I'm gonna go back. It says anyone that has been a part of the supply chain industry can attest to the fact that supply chains have always been subject to disruption. Natural disasters, terrorism, economic cycles, and capacity shortages have created challenges since the beginning of the trade. Yeah, slocky on that. Give me 1 second. All right. It says since the end of the Cold War, global supply chains have benefited from peaceful trade between developed and developing countries. Many poorer and less developed countries that were previously ruled by communist or autocratic regimes took advantage of new markets in the developed world and used global trade to move beyond substances, economies to prosperous ones. All right, but that's basically it. Supply chains are never going back normal, man. All right. Uh, see, uh, it says the Eastern European countries that were formerly part of the Soviet bloc are examples of the countries that embraced capitalism and shifted toward democracy, while China did the opposite. All right. Now is the point. It all came back around. Dealing with communism. All right. Uh, the arbitrage between the developed and developing country has been massive. The cost of producing goods in countries with cheap labor, lax environmental and labor regulation, and little regard for sustainable natural resources has enabled the world to enjoy unprecedented peace and prosperity because the goods produced in these parts of the world were so cheap it made sense that they would be produced in excess, right? What scripture comes to mind? Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, right? But now that this that they are moving on with their agenda, they're stripping these, you know, these low level economies, man. Okay, these low level nations of their work, man. Right? Look at Sri Lanka. Okay, what's going on in Sri Lanka? Okay, they're down to their last. I think a couple days ago they were down to their last oil reserves, man. All right, and this supply chain is gonna lead to what? All right, um, right here, and I ain't even gonna read all of it. You know, it says Iran digital food rationing rolls out using biometric IDs amid food riots. Okay, because people are gonna riot. Okay, once this food rationing body, the government, okay, at these FEMA camps, all right, at these Walmart locations, all right. Once these people continue to get food ration and it's not enough for them, it's gonna cause riots. And that's when Esau Edom is gonna make his move to bring in the military, the martial law, right? He's gonna bring in the same thing Iran is doing, all right, or possibly the MOTB, all right. It says Iran is set to be the first country to roll out a food rationing scheme based on new biometric IDs. Where Vanessa passports failed, food passports will now be eagerly accepted by hungry people who can't afford rapidly inflating prices. This is the realization of a long-standing agenda by the Rockefeller United Nations and World Economic Forum crowd to, as Kissinger put it, control food and control people, man. All right? And that's the point, man. All right, they're going to control the people with with the food, man. All right? And that's going to lead, where's the article at? All right? And this is the main goal right here. Okay? Shoppers soon won't be able to pay with cash or a card. So how are you going to pay? Okay, this is gradualism. All right? It says supermarkets consume shoppers to ditch cash and card payments and instead use their face or fingerprints to the checkout. All right? Their face or their fingerprints. All right? Shoppers will be able to smile or wave a hand at a scanner to pay for their shopping. All right? This is it, man. This is it, man. It says the way we pay needs to keep pace with the way we live, work, and do business, offering choice to consumers with the highest levels of security. Our goal with this new program is to make shopping a great experience for customers and merchants alike, providing the best of both security and convenience. And that's how they trick you. Okay, they tell you that they're gonna tell you that taking these digital IDs and then eventually the MOTB, it's gonna be secure, man. Nothing's gonna happen. You're gonna be protected. Everything you do, your financial, your information, everything is gonna be secure on this MOTB. All right. It says through peace and safety, he shall through peace, through his policies. Well, get that. I think it's Daniel 8:75. Right. And through his policy, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. Right? Isn't that what this devil is doing? All right. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. All right. And he shall also stand up against the prince of principle. He shall be broken without hand. All right. And it says, by peace he shall destroy many. Okay, and that's dealing with that MOTB, man. All right. This man is going to destroy many. All right. You know, I'm gonna get this. Revelation 13 and 16. And he calleth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads, man. Right, this is it. This food rationing is going to lead to massive uproars. Okay, 215 and 16. All right, and you know, cause what the government is hiding, they're buying up all the food and hiding under these bunkers. All right, cause they know what times we in. All right, they're gonna say they're saving all things for themselves, man. The whole thing is you'll own nothing to be happy, man. All right, that's the whole slogan of the agenda. All right, we're at 17, and they're gonna force you to convert, you know, to the image, which is really it's gonna be gradualism. You're gonna have to get a full ID, a biometric digital ID. All right, uh, uh, you know, it's gonna be more plagues, so they're gonna make you get more jab steps, like the elder says. Uh, you know, these people got the Crown Vic passport. Whatever happened to that? All right, whatever happened to that? All right, that was just a test. All right, so now you people uh, when these food shorts, when these food, get that. All right. 606 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. All right. The full storehouse shall suddenly be found empty, man. All right. And the sown places appear unsown is dealing with the crops, man. Okay. These farmers, they sign NDAs. So because the government forced them to shut down and do away with all their product, man. All right, that's the sown places appear unsown, which is gonna lead to more of a supply chain hit, man. Okay, and it's gonna also lead to more inflation, man. All right, it says the full storehouse shall suddenly be found empty, and that's dealing with those storehouses that supply the grocery stores, man. All right, said the world is on a 10-week week back up, man. All right, this is the times we in, man. All right. So during that time, what is Esau Edom going to do? He's going to bring in food rationing. All right. And you're going to have to get some type of form of ID in order to get the food, man. All right. It says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which every man hear, that they shall suddenly be afraid. And that's when the news reveals what the prophets have been saying, starting with Apostle Tahar on down for decades and decades. Okay, that's the alarm. All right, the trumpet. It says at that time, right, because this is going to happen during these times. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. The earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. All right, that's dealing with the water supply, because Esau, Edom has everything backed up to an electronic database or connection. All right, he can shut off your water, man. All right, just with the press of a button. Okay, just the times we in, man. All right, you're gonna have to abide by this devil. You're gonna have to get IDs. Okay, which eventually these IDs is gonna lead up to the MOTB. All right, and that's why it says Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he had that mark, save he that had the mark, the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, man. So if if you don't have, the ultimate goal is that MOTB. And if you don't have that, you're not going to be able to buy or sell, man. Okay. It's an implanted mark. All right. an implanted subdermal device that the Bank of London wants to institute around the whole world, man. That's the hour of temptation. Okay, Revelation 3 and 10. Right, their agenda has been revealed through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, through the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. All right, if you don't, you see everything lining up. All right, you see everything lining up, man. All right, food rationing, more supply chain breakdowns, government hoarding of food, FEMA rationing, help rationing and food. This is it, man. All right, all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right, and I'm gonna close out with that. Lord willing, this is edifying. All praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Kwam Yashrala. Shalom.